Hi, hello, vanakkam. Happy Sunday. Welcome to our 88th online free webinar session, Parenting in New Millennium by Dr. Jeny Madam, Psychologist and Educator from Kerala. I think this is the first time we are having the speaker from Kerala. Thank you, Zonal Director of Kerala, Bazir Sir, for bringing Jeny Madam to our care family. இன்னைக்கு எங்க ஸ்டேட் கேரளா ஆனும் எங்க சிஎம் விஜயன் நானும் எங்க டான்ஸ் கதகளியானும் எனக்கு நீ வேணும் எனக்கும் மலையாளம் கொஞ்சம் அறியும் okay just for fun. Okay, parenting in the new millennium has lot of challenges and most interesting and yet most rewarding job we ever undertake. There is a technological and informational revolution taking place rapidly. Children are more updated than parents nowadays. Let us hear from Jeny Madam how parents should be updated. Before that, as usual, here we go with care presentation by myself, since Meenakshi is giving her weekly test today. Care. Chidambaram Academy of Refinement and Enrichment was started on 5th September 2006 and named after the renowned freedom fighter, Mr. V.O. Chidambaranar of Thuthukudi. The main objective of care is societal development through human resource development. Easy accessibility. CARE has 11 zonal offices across South India in Telangana, Andhra, Karnataka, Puduvai, Tamil Nadu and Kerala. Services offered by CARE: training and development, guidance and counseling, legal support, recruitment, other services like corporate films and training videos, corporate magazines, GST services and training, translation works, and even management. CSR activities. All the above activities are managed by our founder director CARE, Dr. R. Krishnamurthy sir, professor, psychologist, trainer, advocate, and social worker. Along with our joint director CARE, Mr. S. Balachandra sir, director, ELM World Academy, Hosur. You can contact us in the below mobile numbers. You can visit our website for more information. You can email us in the following mail IDs. Join us through social media. Subscribe our YouTube channel for free motivational videos. CARE HRD for success. All our online session is also being shared in our YouTube channel. Find us in Facebook, CARE HRD India. It is our customary to welcome our guests with a virtual bouquet. So hereby we offer it to today's guest, Jeny Madam. Please accept it, Madam.
Welcome, Madam. Welcome to CARE.
Thank you.
Welcome, Madam.
And next to our guest speaker, our family member, Bala sir. Please accept Bala sir.
Welcome, Mr. Bala. Welcome
Thank
to
you,
our
sir.
family.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, madam.
Next is inaugural address and introduction of today's faculties by our own technical head, Bala sir. Over to you, Bala sir.
Thank you, madam. Good morning, one and all present here. Happy Sunday morning. A well-spent Sunday brings a week of happiness and content. The people who truly care about you won't have to tell you they care. They will show you. Today our care is 80th online sessions that how truly caring all of us. Thank you, care founder Dr. Krishnamurthy sir and team for taking care of us through excellent training sessions with eminent personalities. We are growing with care. Every parent wants that their children should possess knowledge and wisdom greater than themselves. In our Tiruvulvar says, Tamil Tammakkal Adivudamai Manilathu Mannu Irkalam Enidhu. If parents hear their children are called wise men, they rejoice more than ever before. ஈன்ற ஒளிதின் பெரிதுவக்கும் தன்மகனை சான்றோன் என கேட்ட தாய் அழகாக சொன்னார் நம் வள்ளுவர். How to make it happen? All we are seeking these inputs to this $1 million question. Today we are lucky to have a great personality, psychologist and educator from Kerala in our today webinar for the topic Parenting in New Millennium. Our today's speaker have reached 20 years of experience in the education field and 8 years in counseling. During this pandemic, she conducted 18 webinars on topics related to psychology and education. She is honored with doctorate from Bardiyar University in topic Impact of Home Environment on Adolescent Psychological Well-being, Stress and Anxiety. She has done MS in Counseling and Psychotherapy from IBMS, MSc Mathematics at University of Calicut, MSc Psychology at Madras University, and B.Ed at Calicut University, Kerala. She received Best Educator Award from NPED India in 2019. She has published more than 25 research papers. I would like to mention all those things due to time constraint. I just given the numbers, 25 research papers. She attended 6 national seminars. She has presented 5 papers to the various universities. All we are wonder how this personality is having time to manage. She published more than 23 articles in the web and would like to mention few from here. Neurobiology of teaching. Are you depressed? Creative beliefs. Attachment to your parenting. Wow, what a great personality. I am delighted and happy to introduce the proud owner of all the said above qualities is none other than Dr. Jeny Rapheal. Welcome you, madam, to be part of our care.
Thank you so much, respected Krishnan sir and Subramanian sir, for your wonderful introduction about myself. And Geeta ma'am and the organizers and the people working behind CARE. I feel very much privileged and honored to be here, to be part of this organization, CARE. And it's my great pleasure on this platform, to be on this platform to speak about this topic, that is parenting in new millennium. And I think that in this new millennium, if we ask people sitting around us, who is the most stressed out group, the answer will be okay. Am I audible? Yes. Now I am audible. And I think I feel very much privileged and honored to be here to speak about this special topic, that is parenting in new millennium. Because it is a need of the hour, I think. Because if you ask, I repeat what I said before, that is, if you ask any group, which is the most stressed out group in this 21st century, the answer will be the parents are most stressed out. Because it is not easy to become a parent in this new millennium, in this 21st century. And we ask the people, what is the reason behind it? Why these parents are getting more and more perplexed about their role as parents? If we ask, there will be a lot of reasons to point out, and they will be pointing out their figure. They point a figure outward. That is, it is due to impact of globalization, and it is, as Geeta ma'am mentioned, it is due to the revolution of technology, and there is information and knowledge explosion is there, and there is cultural intermixing is there, and there is erosion of values, traditional values. All these are impacting our new generation. They will be pointing their fingers out. But these things, impact of globalization and technology revolution, we cannot do, as parents, we cannot do anything much serious on these things that is happening around us in the society, in the country, in the world itself. But there are some things that we can change, that we can take initiative to make some changes. That is, for example, we can change, or we can look in a deeper manner into our own role as parent, what we can do as parent, that is within our reach. So this is the only thing actually that is within our reach and which we can make any changes. That is our role as a parent. So this webinar is mainly for giving you some insight into the possibilities of your role as a parent. There are so many possibilities, I will say, which is not yet explored by parenting community as far as their role as parent is concerned. And science has to say much based on its research outcomes about this role, parenting. And parents of 21st century, this new millennium, is not at all aware of what science has to say about parenting. So I will be inviting all of you, especially the parents gathered here, to have a look into this, the science of parenting. And you see that possibility, when I speak of possibilities of parenting, what we do or what resources we depend on in order to execute our role, in order to conduct parenting, what are the major resources we depend upon? Just to think about it. Scientist and psychology research says that usually most parents depend on only two resources in order to conduct their parenting. That is, first is their own instinct. Parenting is based on instinct of the parent, instinctual forces or instinctual impulses. This is the first resource each parent make use of in their parenting practices actually. And the second resource, they might be depending upon their memories about their own parents, what their parents did to them, how their parents conducted parenting. These are the major sources which usually the parents of today depend on in order to conduct the parenting. And the studies say that parenting that is happening inside the home in this 21st century, in this new millennium, is somewhat happening in an accidental manner. That is, parents do not make any prior preparation or prior learning before entering into the role, even after entering into the role of parenting. So by this webinar, what I want to do mainly is to change your perspective about the role of parenting. This webinar is not meant for giving you some quick tips or some effective strategies that you can implement in your home environment in order to be an effective parent. Not like that. This is not the purpose of this webinar. The purpose of this webinar is to provide you a new outlook, new perspective towards the role of parenting, so that you will be having some inner changes inside you as a parent. So it will get naturally reflected in your parenting role and in your interaction with your child. It can bring forth considerable changes. So let us enter into the presentation without wasting much time. Let me begin what I have to say. Here it is. If you have any doubt in between, you can write your doubts in the chat box and I will be answering after the presentation, because now it is not able to, I'm not able to see the chat box because my screen is full of presentation. Parenting in the new millennium. Let us look into it. As in the case of any training program or webinar, I am asking you, what is the definition of parenting? What is the simplest definition that you can give regarding the parenting? If I'm not sure, it is this. The name given to the, it is the simplest definition goes like this. It is the name given to the process of raising a child. No, we call it as parenting. And this parenting is a lifelong process. Even if it is a process, it is an endless process as far as parents, especially the parents of Indian community is concerned, Eastern cultures is concerned. That is, we have to give daily care, love, support, and guidance in an intermittent fashion to our children. No, parenting is a lifelong process. And it is not a generic activity. Actually, the role of parenting is multidimensional. You have to attend to not only physical health, but intellectual, educational, social behavior, mental health, and everything. It is a multi-dimensional process. Numerous elements are involved in it. And parenting in new millennium, whenever we speak of parenting in new millennium, we feel that it is something special. What makes it special? This parenting in new millennium. Why we say why we are exaggerating the role of parenting when we speak about parenting in this new millennium? Because parenting, the role of parenting had been there from the beginning itself, from the beginning of humanity itself, from the arboreal apes, among arboreal apes itself, there were roles. They used to conduct the role of parenting actually, but there is something that makes it special in this new millennium. It is this: there are changes in the roles of the parents, and this change has taken place suddenly, quickly, because each parent, especially the mother, had to conduct two roles, that is double role: the role of a homemaker as well as that of professional or job holder. And in many homes or in many home environment, we can see that role conflict is a no. That is, parents fail to establish or strike a work-life balance. They are not yet aware of it, that they are losing balance between their work life and domestic life. And the need for personal enhancement is there for each parent. You just 50 or 60 years ago, you think about a mother, the role of a mother 50 or 60 years ago. All her aspirations and all her desires, all her hopes are centered around her children and other family members, husband, all that. She's satisfied with it. She does not think about her development or her personal enhancement, all that. But it is not like that, like this in this new millennium. A lady or a woman entering into a marital relationship and marital life, she always think about how to enhance her personality, her personal capabilities. And even after entering into marriage, or even after entering or even after becoming a mother, she keeps on learning. She take new courses and she update herself in her several skills, because she wanted to invest. She wants to invest energy and time in her development also, actually. So she has to divide her time and energy between the development of her children as well as her personal development. It is like that. She is not content with the development of her children and other family members. She has to find time for personal development also. And there is a change in the family structure, actually, that joint families are disappearing. Means that strong supportive system given by the elder members of the family to the young parents is depleting. There is proliferation of nuclear families, and the needs of the children are becoming more sophisticated and complex. The parents have to pay attention to even the subtle psychological needs of their children. Then only they can be effective in the roles of parenting, actually. And this is a state of a parent, a mother, a new millennium. What is wrong with this? That is, she is not capable of investing, or he is not capable of showing 100% involvement in either of her roles. Either it is in professional role or in the role of mother. She is juggling between the roles. And also, there is another fact, that is parents have to keep tab on the environmental forces, societal forces, forces of technology, influence of technology on their children. And this is an additional burden, actually, because parents are not the only people who shapes their children. So they have to keep tab on the influence of these things, that is environmental influence, society, and technology also. And this is an additional challenge, that is in the 21st century. The parent has to deal with how their children relate to the technology. And it is a hard task for the parent to guide a children in order to build up a healthy relationship with their gadgets, especially the smartphones. And it is not a simple task. Parents are struggling in this area. So much struggle is there in order to help the child to have a disciplined approach to the world of technology and the related gadget. So objectives of this webinar, let me explain in detail. That is, this webinar, if you pay attention to the details given in this presentation, it will equip you parenting community to view their role from a different perspective, as I mentioned before. And it will give some glimpse into the things, that is what is needed to be an effective parent, because it is easier to become a parent, but it is not easy to become an effective parent. So effective parenting practices will be discussed in this presentation in detail. And you see that you will be invited to conduct your parenting with your head. It is not that you are conducting your parenting in an unconscious manner. It is not that. But most of the parents make use of their heart compared to their head. Yes, it is like that. I will be explaining it later. And learning to exercise your higher order processing capabilities of your brain. That is, our brain has some higher order processing capabilities. The more we apply those capabilities into our parenting role, means we are becoming more and more mindful and conscious in our parenting roles. We are approaching it with some strategies, well-planned manner. So in order to approach your role in a strategic manner, well-planned manner, you must be capable of utilizing your cortical, the executive functions of your cortical regions of your brain. And most parents are not aware of this. You enter, it is a, parenting is a role into which we, all of us are guided, or we are prompted to enter into out of instinct. It is due to your instincts that you fall in love with a man. No, instinctual forces guides you or prompts you, impels you in order to fall in love with a man of your choice. And after marrying him, after satisfying your sexual instinct, you have that instinct in you to become a parent. Once sexual need is satisfied, you think of giving birth to a baby. You want to become a parent. That is, parenting is an instinctual behavior. We can say that. It is due to instinct. All of us enter into this role in the first place. It is not a it is not in a planned manner that we enter into parenting. We need it. We can't help but hope for becoming a parent. We need it, actually. But whenever we are guided by an instinctual force or instinctual energy, what happens is that every instinctual behavior, it is an innate behavior, inborn behavior. It is an inherited behavior. That is, you are born with that potential or capacity to execute that particular behavior. And you see that there is no experience is needed in order to conduct that behavior. It is already in your genes. It is determined by heredity. It is written in your genes. And you can't help, but you are impelled. This force compels you in order to enter into that particular behavior. And parenting is instinctual. Instinctual force is there. But in this 21st century, what is the state of this 21st century? Have you thought about it? The most trend, that is the dominating trend is scientific in this 21st century. Man is after understanding and perfecting everything. whether it is instinctual, whether it is about weather, whether it is unpredictable thing, whatever it may be. Scientific trend is domineering all the facets, all the aspects of human life. And parenting is not an exception. So many scientific research are going on in the realm of parenting. So scientists invite parenting community to view parenting as a science. There are so many scientific facts related to it. So make use of your intellect in order to understand your role as a parent in a deeper manner. They say, scientists say like this. Because according to the scientists, instinctual awareness is not enough to become an effective parent, a good parent. They say that world is now witnessing a fact that so many parents are committing serious mistakes, either out of their lack of competence or carelessness. So many parents are committed, and collective mistakes are there. For example, there are so many parents who believe firmly that punishment, corporal punishment, is an effective way for disciplining the child. There are so many parents still believe in the efficacy of punishment. So correction must be made at collective level. And science says that so many parents are committing mistake, and they are getting along with this, and generations are repeating mistakes regarding the parenting practices. And their evidence goes like this. It is UNICEF. UNICEF conducted a survey into Indian parents, and they came out this result, that is physical violence, verbal abuse, emotional abuse is very much rampant in Indian families. That is, they even called Indian parents as demons. Yes, they address Indian parents as demons, actually, because they can't. According to their standards, Indian parents are almost torturing their children. This is their conclusion, and they say that rate of parental abuse, according to their standards, rate of parental abuse is 89%. You may go in the details of the study. It is available in the internet, actually. And this is a study. This is a result of a study took place in my state, that is Kerala. Manoj Tarail conducted a survey into 6,957 adolescents of age 13.9 years. And he came out with this striking revelations about parenting. That is 47.9% adolescents reported exposure to violence inside the home, and 47.4% said they have physical abuse, and 30.4% emotional abuse was there, and 16.7% had experience of sexual abuse. And you see that this is a statistics of children. Statistics of the children reported under POSCO Act in Kerala. That is, number of children subjected to sexual abuse inside the home environment is the highest. There are so many places where sexual abuses are being done to these children, but home is the place where most sexual abuses happen inside Kerala. That means home is not a safe place for children, our children, today's children. So serious intervention is needed in Indian families especially, and in similar places like India. Serious intervention is needed for parents in order to conduct their role in an effective manner. Science says this. So this is what science say, or invite the parenting community. It says that you mix your intellect with instinct. You make sure in your parenting practices, you make sure that there should be right involvement of your lower brain and higher regions of the brain. That is, if we are conducting the act of parenting out of instinct, out of our past memories, we are just reacting to the situations. No, that is, we are these instinctual behaviors or impulsive behaviors stem from lower regions of our brain, that is emotional regions of the brain, limbic system, and the primitive regions. So we address it as neuroscientists address it as primitive regions of your brain. And whenever you are making use of lower regions of the brain during your parenting practices, what happens is that you just respond to the situations. How the situation arises, how your child behaves, you just respond. You are not, no, you are not caring about your own state, or you will be responding out of your emotions, out of your moods. You keep on responding the situations. That's all. But when you are conducting your parenting role from higher regions of the brain, that is cortical regions of the brain, which is meant for this realistic thinking, that is, we call it as thinking brain, cortical regions of the brain. And cortical regions of the brain have some executive functions. That is very much important whenever you are learning, whenever you are understanding, whenever you are processing information consciously, these regions of the brain. What happens when you are consciously training yourself to exercise these faculties of these regions of the brain, you will be creating some situations inside your home. You will be the creator of situations in the home environment, and you will be ensuring that the children is really disciplined, and you will be paying attention to the states of the children, responses of the children, how children reacts, and you will be the author of parenting situations. You will take a control of the situation. You will be having some strategic plans. You will be approaching with some in a sequentially arranged stages or steps. Well planned manner, you will be approaching your role. Okay, that is the difference when you make use of the faculties of your higher order brain regions in the parenting practices. Because you see that parenting requires understanding child's needs. No, everybody will agree that you must be capable of understanding, and understanding is a cognitive process that takes place in the higher regions of the brain, cortical regions of the brain, and you have to find effective strategies for meeting those needs, whether it is physiological needs and psychological needs. And you have to exercise good judgment. All these take place, all these activities take place in your higher order regions, or higher brain regions inside your head. So instinctual force is not adequate in order to become an effective parent, because instinctual forces and intuition stems from lower regions of your brain. So meeting the needs of your children is not for 4 or 5 years. So you have to attend to the needs of your child until he reaches 18 years, and you have to support and guide him to become a competent adult, actually. And it is not a easy task. Of course, parenting is a gift of God. I agree with it. Because without divine intervention, couples cannot enter into this parenthood, actually. There are so many couples who are not lucky to become a parent, actually. And there are joys of parenting. Joy, happiness of parenting is love of parent. Love is there, pride is there, and it actually, becoming a parent strengthens your marital relationship. It is also true, no? At the same time, there is a reality regarding the parent. That is, we must be ready to sacrifice many things. There will be sleepless nights. Career sacrifices will be there, and postponing of your so many activities. That is, joy of parenting always comes with a price, actually. And parenting has its own challenges. Sometimes it can be very complicated, especially when your child reaches adolescence. You can see that you are too much perplexed. You will be finding it difficult to discriminate what is your right approach from your wrong approaches. You don't know. Actually, you get a stage that you don't know how to approach your child when your child reaches adolescence. and families and societies and individuals inside your home and your family, societies, all will be affected by this dilemma actually. And you see that parenting, it is a full-time job. There is no break actually, no formal training. No parent is entering into their role with much training. They just enter into it out of instinct, we will say. They just enter, and after entering into it, they start picking up some lessons from it. That is a way of parenting that is being conducted today. There is no vacation or breaks, and no one method solves it all. There is no particular method or a clear-cut solution for the dilemmas and difficulties that you face in your role as a parent, actually. And no preparation is there. Parents are literally helpless. The role, in any other role in the society, the role of a teacher, role of any other professional, they get training, but parents are not getting any kind of training or guidance before entering into it. Even after entering into the role of parenting, they are not getting any reliable advice or information and all that. Yes, but no one is born with all preparation needed to become an effective parent. But for some people, some skills seem to become naturally. For example, you can see that some mothers are more empathetic. They have higher levels of empathy in them, and it helps in their parenting practices, because empathy is the fundamental requirement to be effective in your role as a parent. You know how to respond in an empathetic manner. If you lack this skill, never dream of becoming a effective parent actually. But most parenting skills must be learned. Yes, you have to learn most parenting skills. Parenting takes work and practice, and you have to read books and take courses. Intuition isn't always best. You cannot depend on yourself in order to become an effective parent. You must depend on outside sources. That is why you are here actually. You want to upgrade yourself, or you want to improve your role as a parent. That is why you are here. So many, these audience are here. So first of all, let us reach at the conclusion that parenting is largely a learning process. Only if you agree with this statement, you can become an effective parent. Because in order to become effective parent, you have to pick up some new skills, new approaches, new way of viewing things. So agree with this. Parenting is a learning process. What are the things that you have to learn as a parent? You have to learn about child development. And it is highly important in this 21st century or in the new millennium. In order to become effective parenting, you must make use of your learning capabilities. Otherwise, it is going to be difficult. You have to learn about the child development. You must know what to expect from your child at particular phase of development. If your expectations about your own child is not real, or it is not realistic, what happens is that conflicts will arise. And disciplined options. So many parents approach the act of disciplining their children out of their whims or impulses. They depend upon their impulses. When they are angry, they discipline in a certain manner. When they are happy, when the parents are happy, they discipline in some other manner. No, that is we can call it as half-hearted way of disciplining. Because parents do not have a plan or a framework on how to discipline a child. It must be there. You must have some idea. How should I discipline my child in a particular age? Discipline options, and you have to learn about it. Learn and understand what the child may be going through. You must have well understanding regarding what is happening inside the child at a particular phase of development. When your child is in infancy state, or in childhood or in adolescence, where when he is an adult, what is likely to happen inside him? What are his psychological and physiological dynamics, developmental stages, and interacting with children positively. Yes, so many parents do not know how to interact in a positive manner. They just do not know, because it matters a lot. You must learn that skills. The parents, so many parents think that discipline, whenever you try to discipline or instruct or some give some rules, or when you set limits as a part of disciplining your child, you must convey the message of disciplining or ways of disciplining in a negative manner. Negative tone of voice should be there if you want to see your children well disciplined. Some people, there are so many parents believe like that. No, there is a way of disciplining the child little by little in a positive manner. So interacting with the child positive manner, it is a skill so many parents yet to learn. And parents must know when to help a child and when not to help. Yes, parents do not know when to do, how much freedom should be allowed to a child when he is in adolescence. And there is need in adolescence to have his own freedom. He wants to exercise his freedom and establish his autonomy, actually. And parents need not be aware of it, when not to help and allow his own freedom. And regarding the parenting skills, you will be having some parenting skills when your child is in childhood phase of development. But the same parenting skills need not to work when your child reaches adolescence. That means parenting, in order to be effective, you must upgrade yourself constantly. Yes, update yourself and upgrade yourself. It's a constant learning process. Effective parenting means you should be ready to learn constantly. You should be a student, actually. You should be a good seeker regarding what are the effective parenting strategies and methods. And also, you know that if you have your techniques and strategies that you use for a child need not be effective for your second child. Why? Each child is different. Each child is unique. That means if you have 3 children, then you must be capable of presenting 3 kinds of approaches. That is, you should know how to approach your children in 3 ways. Each child should be approached in a different manner. That is a fact. You are more likely to find one that will work. But when you attend parental training programs and webinars like this, when you read good books about parenting, what happens is that you will be getting so many strategies in your kitty. In order to experiment with so many you will be having so many strategies. Whether you can decide whether this strategy, a particular strategy, is going to be effective and all that, actually. And you see these 5 things, that is setting goals, identifying resources, making a plan, and putting a plan into action. You may think that all these things, these 5 stages or steps, happen in the area of management or in the area of organization, or if you wanted to achieve some goal. No, this must be applied in the scenario of parenting. That is, you must approach, whether it is in the case of disciplining your child, whether it is in the case of educating your child, and regarding his financial security, whatever it may be. Most aspects of the parenting must be approached in this way. That is, there must be a sequential or stage-wise approach should be there. You must have some goal. You must be identify your resources, make a plan. Then only parenting will be effective. Parenting should not be approached in a half-hearted manner. It is not a response or reaction to the situations, but you are the creator of situations. You must think like that. You can create situations inside your home so that the parenting can be conducted in an effective manner. And a lot of homework is necessary for meeting that end, actually. So the question is, should the parents be educated? Should the parents, that is prospective parents who are yet to enter into parenthood, and as well as ongoing parents, should be educated? Should they be given some formal education or formal training is needed for these parents? That's the question. And Western society says that yes, parents should be educated. Formal training is needed to be effective in this role, the role of parenting. And you see that in Western countries, there are so many organizations and training centers are there for parents. They conduct so many programs and training modules, training programs for the parents, because they say that many people can become parents, but becoming a good parent, it is not easy. It is a challenge actually. And by attending or studying about parenting in a formal manner, what happens is you learn how to provide care and guidance to your children in an effective manner and ensure their healthy development actually. So never consider it as a weakness, because this is another reason. Parents need some knowledge and resources. In the bygone era, when there were joint families, usually elder members of the family guide the young parents and help them, assist them, give them enough support in their roles actually. But in the case of new generation or new millennium, you can see that there are only nuclear families. So availability of knowledge and resources regarding the parent is very scant for the new parents or parents of the new millennium. So they must enter into they must seek for the resources from outside resources. Either it is through books or either by attending the training programs and all that. And you see that this is another reason, because changes are happening in a very rapid manner. And it is very difficult for the parents who are handling so many roles in their life to keep up with these changes. And as our Geeta madam mentioned, children are far more advanced than the parents in many areas, like that is technology and use of technology and toys and activities. In many cases, that is that the children are far more advanced than the parent means. It is creating an invisible distance between the parent and child actually. So parents need guidance in this line also. And you see that today's children are exposed to many life situations which vary in kind and degree. And there are so many challenges faced by these students or the children of new millennium. And challenges happen in sequence, one after other. And there are so many threat of drug gangs, and also these things are. So learning about parenting, if you set out to learn about effective parenting, any parent, if she or he wants to know what we can do, what I can do in my role as a parent, and set out for a formal kind of learning, what happens is that it will help the parents to get through the difficult times and avoid some tough situations in your parenting practices. Yes. And you see that this is one of the most daring challenge each parent, that is in this era. This is an era of knowledge explosion, and the success of your child is very much dependent upon his educational life, how he conduct his education and how he come out of, with what degrees and with what certificate he comes out of educational institution matters a lot in his success as an individual in this modern world. So the parent must attend to so many factors, that is intellectual life, educational life, and it is not easy to produce a young adult who is competent and independent in the modern society. This is a huge challenge a parent has to attend to, and it is not easy. And finally, you know that positive and strong parenting skill is the basis of strong families. No. If you want a strong family, what makes a strong family? It is just this positive and strong parenting skills. And it is a strong families which build a strong nation. So your role as a parent is highly important. Please understand the significance of your role as a parent. You are the building blocks of society. For example, I have heard a saying that like this: what kind of society that we are going to have tomorrow is determined by what kind of mothers we have today. Yes, your role in the society is that much significant and important. Understand its importance, first of all. And you have, as parents, you have some responsibilities of which you need not be aware of. Yes, all parents need not be aware of their own full responsibilities, because child has a right to be, you must be capable of nurturing the child, protecting the child, teaching the child, guide. So this learning about parenting or educating the parent means making them aware of their own responsibilities and helping them to meet those responsibilities. So the question you might ask me that we must build up institutions in order to train the parents, ongoing parents, and as well as current parents, as well as the people who are likely to enter into parenthood. It is not possible in the Indian community at present. Is it possible to build up formal education systems for parents? No, it's not. But one thing we can advocate is that there are so many resources around the parents themselves. They can make use of it. Parenting skills can be learned, or parents can educate themselves, provided they must have that will to educate themselves, to equip themselves to deal with the children of 21st century or new millennium. Look, read reliable information, read good books, read articles from internet regarding parenting. This is one of the many resources. Gain experience with children. That means if you want to update yourself or improve yourself as a parent, spend quality time with your child, because your child has a lot of things to teach you. Yes, if you are mindful in your parenting practices, if you are conscious about the movements of your child, his responses, and if you are ready to analyze why he responded, why he responded in a certain manner, why he is like this, and you make use of your thinking capabilities while you are indulging or while you are spending time with your children, it can teach you a lot, actually. And ask advice from others. Most parents think that it is a sign of weakness, asking advice from other parents or professional advice, seeking guidance from counselors who are specialized in what called parenting. They consider it is a weakness of them. So, but you have to, if you want to become an effective parent, you must be ready to seek for advice from other parents and professionals, and observe other parents and children. This kind of observation will lead you in many situations. And whatever be the nature of learning or the kind of learning that you are making as a parent in order to upgrade yourself to become an effective parent, the end point of all learning program is, or learning method should be, or the final outcome that we expect from a learning parent who is striving to become an effective parent is that you must be capable of creating a nurturing environment inside your home. Nurturing environment should be there. These are the characteristics of nurturing environment. That is compassion, communication, cooperation, confidence will be there in both parties, that is parents and children. If your home environment is nurturing environment, these 4 characteristics will be very much alive. Yes, will be vibrating with these things, that is compassion, communication, and cooperation. And there is a science of nurturing. There is a science of positive touch. Researchers say that most parents are not aware of what kind of influence this positive touch, the hug, that his kiss that you make on a daily basis. You just hug your child, kiss your child, pat him on his back. All these can make a tremendous influence, tremendous impact on his emotional life, actually, emotional state, on his self-esteem. Even if your child is suffering from some anxiety disorders or difficulties related to anxiety, the way in which you relate to your child has the power to reduce this impulses of anxiety. And positive communication is what most important. Dignified discipline. What we call it as dignified discipline. Disciplining is different from dignified discipline in the way that when you are conducting a dignified discipline, what happens is that you take into consideration of what other people, whom you are disciplining, your child, you take into consideration his emotional states. What is his emotional responses? What is his stand regarding your disciplinary strategies? All these will be taking, you will be taking into consideration. This is a science of nurturing. And negative nurturing, perhaps you will be executing negative nurturing in your home environment. Actually, you see, if you are having some inappropriate expectations about your children, so many parents are having inappropriate expectations. That means you are nurturing your child in a negative way. If you are lacking an empathetic response, so many parents do not know how to respond to your child in an empathetic manner. They do not know. Then you are nurturing your child in a negative manner. You will be making use of punishment in order to discipline your child, and you will be oppressing. Not that you are doing this with the purpose of hurting your child. You will be executing these things with a good intention, but it is making an adverse impact, a negative impact on your child. That is, you need not be aware of that, of the fact that you are nurturing your child in a negative manner. And best example of negative nurturing is helicopter parenting. Helicopter parenting, I think that you are aware of it. Helicopter parenting. A parent who executes helicopter parenting extremely pay close attention to their child. You see, these are the characteristics of helicopter parenting: excessive advice, problem solving, and provision of abundant and unnecessary tangible assistance is the. And these are the negative consequences of helicopter parenting. Your child will be very low in these skills, that is, in his self-efficacy, peer communication, overall well-being, peer trust, problem-solving skills. All these things will be very low if you are advocating and practicing helicopter parenting. As well as if you are an authoritarian or strict disciplinarian in your home, means you are promoting a negative nurturing practices. That is, you are setting limits, you are disciplining without allowing any kind of freedom to your child. Then you are an authoritarian parent. Another thing is permissive parenting. You are giving extreme freedom to your child without setting any limits. This also will bring forth adverse consequences to your child. Whatever it may be, get ready for a change. Take a determination that you will make some changes where in your role as a parent, yes, in your attitudes, in your behaviors, you will be making some considerable changes with the help of your learning capabilities, your learning potential. You will be making use of it. Look, what I personally advocate is need-based parenting. In this 21st century, in this new millennium, need-based parenting is the most effective parenting strategy. because so many research outcomes that has been conducted in the realm of self-determination theory has come out with so many positive effects or positive results along with this research outcomes about the impact of need-based parenting. This need-based parenting is just this. You try to understand in a better manner about the needs of your children, and you regulate or you shape your parenting practices according to the needs of your children. When we speak about needs, there are two kinds of needs or two sorts of needs are the physical needs and psychological need. And regarding the physical needs, each parent will be well aware of the physical needs of their children. They can articulate what are the physical needs of their children, food, clothing, and all that. But when I ask parents, what are the psychological needs of your child? They will not be having a clear idea or clarity regarding the psychological needs. They will be putting forward some terms like need for love, need for security, need for appreciation, need for approval, like that. It's not like that. Whatever it may be, regarding the needs, you must understand whenever your child is in some need, whether it is physiological or psychological, you see that he is in some sort of tension. Because any need, whether it is physiological or psychological, it is an unfulfilled state. There is some deficiency inside your child. That is, it creates some tensions in your, and there is psychological homeostasis. What happens when you are hungry actually? Your entire system will go out of balance, and wherever you look, you will be searching for food. Same is the case with the psychological needs. When the psychological needs of your child is not properly satisfied, for example, need for love and care of your child is not properly satisfied means wherever he go, he will be searching for or looking for the satisfaction of that particular psychological need. That is, his entire energy and focus will be directed towards the satisfaction of that need. Until it is satisfied, his psychological balance will not be reinstated. So you see that there are these basic psychological needs are so powerful. Each child is born with some basic psychological needs. Yes, they must find a satisfaction for those needs. Their actions and behavior are guided and driven by these psychological needs actually. It is universal. But they need not be, parents or the children themselves need not be aware of those needs. But these needs, basic psychological needs, will be energizing the child to involve some activities or behavior for the purpose of satisfying these needs actually. And if these basic psychological needs are properly satisfied, the child experience health and well-being in their life. Well-functioning is promised. But if these basic psychological needs are not satisfied, pathology and even ill-being may result. There are so many number of studies, so many studies are there which substantiate this fact. That is, basic psychological need satisfaction of your child is utmost important. So, what are the basic psychological needs of your child? If you have well understanding of this, half work is done actually. According to self-determination theory and basic psychological need theory, your child have mainly 3 basic psychological needs. Try to understand these needs in an in-depth manner. It will help you in your parenting practices, I promise. That is autonomy, need for autonomy. It is a need to determine his own behavior, his life situations, determine, control, and organize his own behaviors and goals. That is, he wanted to have control or his own life. He does not want to be controlled by somebody else. Yes, this need is very powerful, whether you agree with it or not agree with it. Your child is dominated by this need for satisfaction, psychological need satisfaction of autonomy. It is very highly powerful. If you closely observe, you can identify it. And you see this, the second powerful psychological need is need for competent. Your child wanted to prove their worth. He wanted to show the world he is competent in many areas. That is need to effectively learn and master challenging them, be effective in dealing with the environment. If your home environment is not allowing to satisfy this need for competence, he will search other areas in order to prove his competence, either in the playground, either in the classroom, or within the friends, or among the gangs. Competence, need for competence is very important. And this is finally the need for relatedness. It is the need for creating meaningful, enduring relationships, with the others, and to enjoy the love and secure feeling of security and protection. And these three needs are very, very powerful. Only if you are capable of satisfying these needs inside your home environment, we can say that you are conducting your parenting role properly and effectively. Because these needs of autonomy and competence and related are very much essential for human functioning. Optimal human function will be possible at any in any social context, in any circumstance. A human being will function properly or optimally only if these needs are properly satisfied. And you see that psychological need for competence related to like a deep structure, it emerges, these psychological need emerges from the structure of human psyche. And whenever these needs are satisfied, your children will perform well, especially in academics, and vitality and happiness will be there, mental health will be there, and volitional engagement in life activities will be there. If these needs are not satisfied properly, he may withdraw from social context and he will be focusing on oneself. He will lose interest in life activities and psychological withdrawal and antisocial activities, and ill health and pathological state, even pathological state may result. So need-based parenting, we will be asking for some practical tips in order to conduct a need-based parenting. I'm going to give it. The question is how to shape your parenting strategies. The answer is you shape or arrange your strategies, your way of approaching or interacting with your child in such a way that his need for basic psychological needs satisfaction is met properly. So this is what I want to tell you in the first place. That is, read about psychology, basic psychological needs of autonomy, competence, and relatedness. Reflect about basic psychological needs and respond. Learn to respond accordingly. When you read, that is, read about 3 basic psychological needs, reflect and observe your child. With this knowledge and understanding about these basic psychological needs, your observation, whenever you observe your child with this understanding of basic psychological needs, what happens is that there will be happening some sort of refinement in your head. Yes, you will learn to observe your child in a different manner once you understood about this need for autonomy, competence, and relatedness. And you will learn to respond in a different manner. Keep a diary of those observations and commit to constant upgrading of your knowledge in parenting, and be a learning parent. Open your head to new ways of thinking. You see that Your child is born with these basic psychological needs for autonomy, competence, and relatedness. And all his actions and behavior will be guided by these needs, that is need for autonomy, competence, and relatedness. If you get well, if you have well understanding about these three needs, if you closely observe the actions and behavior of your child, you can clearly identify which need is operating behind a particular action. Your child is repeatedly involving in mobile games. For example, your child is overusing your mobile. You can identify which need is he is satisfying, which psychological need he is satisfying with the help of these applications given in mobile. Perhaps it might be need for competence. By playing the mobile games, he will be feeling that he is competent because he is getting that feeling of success and feeling of competent. He will be deriving that psychological need satisfaction by playing a particular mobile game, for example. And you must know that you need not set out or you need not make arrangement for the satisfaction of these needs, because there is natural, innate, and constructive tendencies in your child in order to satisfy these needs. The thing is, the child is capable of satisfying his psychological need for autonomy, competence, and relatedness. But the fact is, social environment like a school or home either facilitate or help the child to satisfy these psychological needs, or these same social environment obstruct or bring obstacles in during the satisfaction of psychological need. So the question is whether your home environment is conducive for the satisfaction. Your disciplinary practices, your way of disciplining the child is conducive for the satisfaction of basic psychological needs. This is a pertinent question, fundamental question, whether your disciplining practices are satisfying the psychological need or it is thwarting the psychological need. Actually, I am crossing the time limit, I think. So individual needs and motivation, when that is, you will be giving some advice and disciplinary advice and disciplinary suggestions from your side to your child. For example, you ask your child who is in the phase of adolescent, as you see in this figure. Your child is in adolescent phase, and you ask your child, do not spend too much time with your friends. It is a time of examination. You must study. Spend time studying instead of spending time with too much time with your friends. But this guy is powered by this need for relatedness, psychological need for relatedness. He wanted to socialize. He wanted to make a meaningful relationship, enduring relationship with his friends and even girlfriends. So your advice, whether it is in line with the psychological need, that is a question. If your advice and your disciplinary suggestions, if it is in line with his basic psychological needs, if it is compatible with his basic psychological needs, he will accept your suggestions and way of discipline. Otherwise, he is likely to reject your suggestions and discipline. So it is crucial that to be effective in disciplinary practices, what is needed is that you must be able to give good rationally. For example, you can ask your children that you can spend this much time, 1 hour or 2 hours in front of TV. And I will not allow you to spend too much time in front of TV, as you have to live. You just set the rule, but you must provide the rules and regulations with rationally. You must explain why you are setting such a limit, why you are giving such a rule, why you are saying that you should do this and you shouldn't do this. Otherwise, the children of new millennium is not going to accept your disciplinary ways. Yes. And at the same time, supportive relationship should be there. That is, unconditional love should not be broken as a part of disciplining. And genuine choice is offered. There must be opportunities for making choices. And if you give the child much situations in order to experience autonomy in your home environment, by allowing him to take initiative during the situations happening inside the home or decision making situations, allow him to take initiative. And autonomy and dependence on others are not opposite. Key foundations of decisions, many decision making situations, you should allow your child to involve, that is experience. You should be allowed him to experience autonomy and qualities of autonomy. He must perceive some sort of control over his life situations, and he must be capable of experiencing choices. Give so many choices to your children, not just suggestions what you should do and what you should not do, but you are these such and such choices are there, you may choose. And volition should be, you must make sure that whatever the rules and regulations are, you are giving forth your children, you must make sure that they are entering into it, or they are accepting your ways of parenting with much volition. That is, full involvement, full agreement from his part is there. And decision making junctures, decision making system, flexibility should be there. Give so much options and freedom to choose. Never push him towards him to the choices, and exercise free will, freely choose to participate. This participation in experiments should be there. Free not to participate. He must have the freedom to participate or not to participate in many situations. Choice must be his. Of course, he might make some wrong choices, but let him learn about the fault of his choice from the consequences of the choices. You need not force him in order to make a particular choice. Let him learn from the consequences. In many situations, if the consequences are not so dangerous, you can allow him to learn from those consequences. And in the case of adolescent population, you know that you must admit that when your child reaches adolescence, he is capable of thinking critically and independently. And you must independently from yours. He has his own ideals and values he will be developing, and you must learn to respect them. And also, in order to feel competent, what is needed is that there must be situations inside your home where your children experience challenge, excitement, some sort of adventure should be there. And you must be able to provide opportunities for it. And only if there are some difficult situations, he is allowed to pass through. And he come out of those difficult situations successfully, he will be feeling competent. For example, you are giving a mathematics problem too easy, which is too easy to a child, and he solves it. Very easy mathematics problem, he come out successfully, but he need not feel competence. That feeling of competence need not be there. But when he solves something difficult or a little bit twisty things are there, a little bit challenging things are there, little bit adventurous things are there, and he resolves it somehow and come out successfully, means he is likely to feel competent. That if your child is not able to feel or derive satisfaction of his need for competence from the home environment, he will be seeking for these possibilities outside the home. It will be either in the playground, it will be among his friends, it will be inside your mobile games and all that. And celebrate successful choice making, both big and support them learning from poor choices. Don't stop, because because of past poor choices. Your child might have made some poor choices before, but never hesitate to allow him to make choices in the further situations also, because poor choices he has made are lessons to teach him that which is the best choice. Choice making is something that choice making is actually is just a skill that children has to develop on their own actually. And relatedness, Maslow's need for belongingness, there must be your home environment must be saturated with unconditional love for your children, and never hesitate or never cut down your expression of your love. It is not enough that you are loving your children. You might be saying that I love my children, but it is not going to work out. Your children might be capable of feeling that love. That means you must express whatever you have, whatever, how intense your love is for them, for your child. And you must approve or acknowledge this fact that children needs a social attachment. They want to mingle with their fellow human beings, people of their kind, and you must allow space for it, agree for it. And the need for relatedness inside the home environment becomes active and remain fresh when you are a best listening parent. Your listening capacities and responding empathetically according to their according to what you have listened matters a lot in order for the child to feel that satisfaction of need for relatedness. This is highly important. How you listen and how you respond to what you listened. Keep your minds open to ideas. That is, let them express their own ideas. You can tell them about your beliefs, your values, even your values, you can tell them. But don't force your beliefs on them. It will not work, especially among the children of new millennium. Never force your beliefs upon them. All kind of ideas, they may come out with something better actually. They are more knowledgeable in many areas than you actually. So avoid under parenting. Do not distance from your child thinking that he will take up lessons necessary for life on his own. It is called under parenting. When you think that he will learn by himself everything through experience, he will be learned. I need not to tell him. Between he will learn to recognize what is good and bad. He has to imbibe a sense of ethics on his own. It is called under parenting. It will not work. You have to give adequate guidance and support. It is essential. You can create family rules, strict family rules you can create for the sake of the well-functioning as well as the well-being of the entire family members. So as a part of establishing family members, what you can do is you can identify family rules. Such rules are necessary, essential for the well-functioning of the family. What you must do is you must explain the rules explicitly. Explain the rules, what all rules you want, and follow the rules, and consequence of the rules must be monitored. That's when rules are not obeyed properly, what should be the consequence? That you must predefine. What if the rules are violated? What will be the consequence? And the most important part is that you must be able to convince your child. Convince your child, this child of new millennium, you must be able to convince your child of new millennium why you are setting a particular rule. That is highly important. Otherwise, he is not going to accept your rules and regulations for him. You must be able to explain why I say that you must walk like this and you must watch TV this much time and like that. That is the most important part. And promise yourself you will show your child that you will love them. You have to show your love. Child must experience your love, and you will listen and value what your child has to say. You will praise your child's efforts and respect your child as an individual. And there are A to Z rules are there for parents. Accept your child. Be a good role model. Learn to communicate in an empathetic manner. Discipline yourself. Encourage good eating habits. Find ways to get and stay fit together. Give tasks that build responsibility. And hug your child. Instill respect for other people. Join, mingle with the other parents, parent and teacher meeting. Keep your promises that you make to your child. Laugh together. Find a time to laugh together. Yes, it's highly important. Make a family rules. Never use physical force in order to discipline your child. Offer your help whenever it is needed. Praise your child for achievements. And quickly stop your child from harmful activities. Read together. How many of you parents are doing this? Read books or read articles with your child. It's the best activity to connect with your child. Set apart some time, 1 or 2 hours, at least in a week, in order to read together. That will develop that this best quality of quality in your child, that is love for books. And show patience. Exercise maximum patience in your parenting. Teach health and safety. Use every opportunity to show your love. Value your child's thoughts, even if it is a blunder. Learn to value it. Learn to, that means you must learn to see the things from his perspective. Wait until you cool down when you are angry or when you are not in a good mood. Wait until you cool down and have records of your child's achievements. You can make a difference in your child's life. Zoom over this ABC again and again. That is, read again and again these tips and ask these questions. Finally, ask this. My parents respect my feelings. If you ask these questions to your children, how many of these questions will be answered in an affirmative fashion? That is, yes, my parents respect my feelings. Will your child answer as yes, my parents accept me for the way I am? My parents are reliable sources of support for me. I value my parents' perspective on issues. My parents value my opinions. When I am upset, my parents show concern. These are the things, mind it, these are the things children of new millennium need. And they must get it. Respect, acceptance, reliable source. Parent must be a reliable source. And parents must value me and my opinions. And parents must show concern. Children will live up to your expectations. It's our promise. Yes, if you are ready to learn and upgrade yourself and update yourself in your role as a parent, just as a teacher updates, just as any professional updates or upgrades, you must be ready to take or see your role as what I say. Okay, stop sharing. You must be ready to view your role as something in a scientific manner, I will say. And it takes work. You have to do a lot of homework if you want to become an effective parent. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, madam. Very patiently and clearly explained, and very good points, madam. And you have nicely addressed about parenting of new millennium and parent with your head and not with your heart.
Yes.
Yes, and physical need and psychological need should be taken care, and
Yes.
steps for creating family rules and explanations very clearly explained, madam. Now we move on to question answer session. Participants can either raise their hands or type their doubts in the chat box.
Yes. Any question you may ask.
Roshini has raised her hand.
Yes, Roshni, come forward, please.
Hi, ma'am.
Yes.
First, thank you for the wonderful session. It was very practical, and I think a lot of people need to see this, especially in today's world, because
Yes.
they find it often quite challenging to face children of this millennium.
Yes.
And you've given a lot of practical techniques, the A to Z rules, the three needs, psychological needs that the children have, and everything. So I first want to thank you for that. My
Yes.
doubts,
Thank you.
coming to my doubts. So you were saying how we cannot bring this as as parenting institution because India is not ready for it. I've always had this doubt in me. Why don't we have it as a part of our curriculum in college? We have math, we have physics. Why don't we have parenting as one subject, as compulsory? Because like we study moral studies, we
Yes.
study environmental science, and
Uh-huh.
most of the population need parenting, like not need children. So and we all know that parenting is very important role. So why don't we have it as a compulsory subject that they need to pass their degree course? If we have it something like that, won't it be very helpful to kind of manage all these things?
Yes. This is a very sensible question, and I feel so happy to address this question itself, because in the first place I can't answer why we don't have, why we don't have in a reliable manner. I will say that why we are not having, perhaps the individuals who are designing this curriculum for our formal education system are not coming to the understanding that parenting is a serious role and it must be viewed scientifically. That might be the one of the reasons. Even if they come to the understanding that parenting is something that must be taught in a scientific manner before entering into parenthood, there need not be much resources, available resources might not be available at the present situation of India, and we have to walk a lot along that line in order to actualize this, including parenting as a compulsory subject in the graduate level at least, who are prospective parents, you know. And you see what is your question itself is the right solution for the present scenario, that is difficulties faced by the parents of new millennium. Your question is the right solution, that is introducing the parenting as a compulsory subject at the graduation level or post graduation level is the one of the best solutions I can say. And I myself have thought about this question several times, but that is firms like this care and other psychological organizations, and who are very much concerned about spreading awareness about mental health and the well-being of the society must take initiative in this line actually. But still I am dubious about the prospect of introducing the parenting as a compulsory subject in the education system, just because our education system is focusing towards the only thing that our education system is focusing or gravitating towards the job market.
Yes,
It
ma'am.
is meant for exclusively for that. And we just speak in our we just put forward the some higher order or sublime objectives regarding the education is the, we say that all round development of education, development of the student and all that, but it is not coming into practice.
Yes,
Your
ma'am.
examination oriented system is the, in this system how to bring this question of teaching the prospective parents regarding the, is a very a distant dream actually, but we can make effort towards that end. Anyway, I feel so happy that that there are people who think that importance of introducing parenting as a course or giving as a compulsory subject in the curriculum. So why, the question of why is still to be answered. Anyway, these are the reasons why we are reluctant to introduce.
Yes, ma'am. I'm actually an assistant professor of psychology, and I feel that it's very difficult to convince the board of studies and also
Yes.
the college members that this is an essential thing that that needs to be studied. Even though we have a lot of scientific background for this, it's
Yes.
very difficult for us to convince these people.
Yes.
So I'm wondering why hasn't this been implemented at least in abroad? Because they are quite advanced and they do a lot of things. A lot of things comes from there to us.
In the
So,
West, as yes,
mm,
in the West, as far as I know, it has not introduced as a compulsory subject or degree level. All that. What they have started doing is that there are institutions or there are firms, organizations meant for this purpose, training parents. So parents volitionally or voluntarily they can enter into sign up for these courses if they find that they are not their parenting practices or skills are not getting is not enough to guide their children and they need some outside guidance is needed, they can enroll for these courses. That's
yes,
all.
ma'am.
As far as I know, I don't know whether no this formal in their formal curriculum planning,
Mm-mm.
it is not it has not coming as a compulsory subject.
Yes, ma'am.
But there are resources
Mm-mm.
which the
Yes,
parents
ma'am.
can depend for
Yes,
the
the
formal
problem
education.
is that, ma'am, because we have a lot of resources. Even in India, we have a lot of resources. We have a
Yes.
lot of textbooks to refer,
Yes.
but then a lot of people do not know that these resources exist, and
Yes.
they
Yes.
don't know to approach it. Also, they don't think of approaching it. Also,
Yes.
they
Yes.
feel that they feel intimidated that I'm not a good parent. I can say that I cannot accept that I'm not a good parent.
That is yes. They
So
think
that,
that yes, seeking help for parenting one's own child is they consider it as a weakness.
yes,
It
ma'am.
is a
Yes.
lack of ability,
Mm-mm.
and it is also it is a shameful act that is seeking help for my upgrading my for equipping myself in order to conduct parenting very effectively. That is we have to change it.
Yes,
With the
ma'am.
help of these webinars like this, we can change it, change the mindset of the pupil. I hope
Definitely,
that
ma'am.
is
Thank you.
that's it.
Ma'am, one more question I have.
Yes.
You were telling about how we can use different parenting strategies for different children. Like the first child might need a different approach, then the second child might need a different approach, and the third child might need an altogether different approach. So I
Yes.
was wondering if this would not affect the children. Like they would ask, right? You're doing different for them. They would think that we are very partial towards them.
Mhm.
Won't that come in, ma'am?
Yes, actually, you see that there are so many parenting approaches advocated by the science. So this will be, as I mentioned, need-based parenting is there, authoritative parenting is there, and so many parenting approaches are being advocated by, which is supported by scientific researchers.
Mm-mm.
And parental training programs are there, autonomy supportive parental training programs and ABC parental training programs, and so many things are there. But ultimately, these knowledge and understanding about different parenting approaches or strategies,
Mm-hmm.
what these things do to a mother is that it equips her
Mm.
with a bunch of strategies, bunch of ways or a bunch of attitudes or approaches. Okay, but ultimately when it comes to the practical level, parenting is ultimately a kind of improvisation.
Mm, mm, mm.
No, I say that I learned very much about the psychological needs of my child and the strategies related to it. When I come to the point of interacting with my child, I have to improvise it.
Mm, mm.
So strategies are limited actually. Strategies have some limits.
Mm,
So how we equip our parent means it is not a clear-cut solution. It's not like it's a parenting strategies advocated by the scientific or parental training programs. It is not a ready-made answer or it is not a solution in the capsule form. Not like that.
mm.
So that creative abilities and ability to improvise adequately must be developed actually. To think out of box capabilities should be there in order to deal with the different children in a different manner.
Mm,
So intellectual abilities or cognitive abilities or executive functioning capacities of the parent parental brain must be developed considerably in order to deal with the children of 21st century or new millennium, because they are highly advanced in their cortical functions, these children.
Yes, ma'am.
So parent must be able to keep a pace with them.
Yes, ma'am. I
That's what
understand that the new millennium needs different strategies, different approach
yes.
towards parenting.
Yes, yes.
But then the older children, someone see, let's say even in my case, my age and my brother's age, it is quite different. My brother is 7 years younger to me. So he is of the new millennium, you can say. So there is a vast gap. So my parent has to approach us differently, because I am from a different millennium, my brother is from a different millennium. But this creates rift up among us as siblings, because like we feel like they are being partial to us. So they okay, for him you're doing this, for me you're not doing this.
Yes.
So that kind of comes up. How can parents deal with this?
Parents try to this different. You are experiencing a different kind of approach from your parent. That's the issue, no?
Yes.
Parents have to make understand why. Actually, in the new millennium, what parents has to take into consideration, whatever they do to a particular child or different child, they are behaving differently, whatever it may be, they must be able to explain, give rationally, convince the child. So children must be encouraged to ask the question the parent. In the bygone era, we are not supposed to question the parents. But in the new millennium, encourage the children to question the parents. But in such a way that your authority must be safeguarded. It is one point. At the same time, these questions must not be discouraged. You must come to a level that you are capable of giving good explanations, which suits to his logical thinking skills, actually. You must know, whatever it may be, what kind of approaches you are making, and now if you are asking why you are making this kind of approaches to him, and you never made, this parent must be capable of explaining it. That's the question, and convince you. And there will be methods and ways for it, and parents must seek for it. It is this point where the learning helps the parent. Learning must be there. Constant learning, seeking should be there. Yes.
Thank you, madam.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you,
madam.
Ma'am, I want to ask you a question.
Yes,
I am Rita Sarkar from Kolkata.
Yes,
my grandchild is about 3 years old, but it is very difficult to handle him. He is very, very obstinate.
Yes.
And being a child, it becomes even more tougher for the parents of this millennium also. They have less time, and so they expect their children to perform perfectly well, which is not possible. But being a single parent, it becomes extremely difficult to handle children who start throwing tantrums at such a young age. So how do you think we deal with them?
Yes, some children are obstinate by nature. Yes, it is very difficult sometimes to deal with this temper tantrums of some children. It's very true that, but it is not impossible to control this behaviors and attitudes of your child. But it will take time and patience. Parent must investigate into the reasons behind it. I will say that. She can seek the professional help for it. Actually, when this obstinate nature is visible at the age of 3, means serious help is needed. Outside professional help is needed for the parent. But this same behavior is being shown when the child reaches adolescent, or that he has picked up that skill somehow. And in that case, a different approach is needed. However, in your case, what I understand is that the parent must figure out the reasons or factors operating behind this obstinate nature of your child. And parent has to regulate or shape her approaches towards the child. For that, definitely, she will need some professional help. But this is what
punishment help?
No, never. Punishment will aggravate the situation. Punishment is not at all an option. Punishment will work.
Then how do you teach
if it is conducted in a certain manner, punishment will work actually. But the child must get the message that why he is being punished and all that. But your child is at 3 years old, is only 3 years old, but in this age, punishment is not going to work out. Punishment is effective only.
You will have to manage the child. Suppose
Manage the child.
Tantrum is to jump from some place. If he falls down, he will break his legs or his bones.
That's
so,
why I said,
you have to tell him, I will not let you watch TV or, something that he likes.
No, it's a blunder. The controlling his temper tantrums without allowing him to watch TV. It's a wrong way of approaching the things. It's not like that. First of all, figure out why he is different from other children. There might be reasons. There might be, you have to undergo some psychological test even. If he is showing so much distractions and also the symptoms as far as I can, what I feel that there will be some attention deficit disorders and like that.
Attention deficit disorder.
Maybe there, I'm not saying that. I have not studied your child. And you have to seek professional help actually.
Okay.
That is one.
Okay.
Are you reachable?
Hello, madam.
I am in Kerala, and you can have my number and the details from Kaya.
Right.
Madam?
Right. Thank you so much.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Madam, okay, what to say, what not to say, I don't know, really amazing. I feel like that, before I going to appreciate this, I don't want to appreciate this program, something. I'm realizing it. First, I want to realize it. How you keep on giving. See, time won't permit us to get into that, but you keep on pouring knowledge. Very good, mashallah, very nice, good. I'm Nazar Khan from Tanjavur, 405 kilometers from Chennai. So the only thing is, what I've been noticing is this thing. This is need of the hour. So why didn't you? I pray that God that why didn't you get into the ministry, the government ministry? They should have one separate for life skills, life skill and something like parenting and premarital. Something like all kind of personal grooming, everything, department, separate department. You should be there like a ministry, as a minister. This is really needed, ma'am. We say in Tamil solvangalla, Gurukulam Kalvin solvanga, madam. Gurukulam, the old days, that has come back again. Really, it totally collapsed nowadays. The professor said so many things. Being a professor, she got into issue, lot of issue. That madam, that Fatima, she said, lot of problems, she can't handle it. So that seeing all these things, the problem is not actually, I'm telling you, I'm being a trainer, it's not about from the children, only parent, they should change their attitudes. The change we expect from only parent only, I think, because they should be a role model for all. They see and they follow. That is what I feel about it. And one more thing I want to tell you, you got plenty of slides and messages, oh my God, like you've done a PhD. I mean, something like, even all audience participants become a PhD because of your messages and materials.
Oh, thank you.
So what I'm going to say, wouldn't you, this and all, just listening, I spent 2 hours, 3 hours, just like that. Okay, emotionally, they say something, just leave it and go for it. Again, they go and immediately shout, their grandchildren or children. Don't do it. I'll just throw this something. They started doing again. Only thing is, it's all can be done only practicing. If they really they want to know, they want the children to come up in second level.
Yes.
Practicing is must. Practice. Yes. Nothing can be achieved.
Yes,
this is what I feel. I want to give a message to all participants. Please practice. Then only whatever the amount of time you spend for this webinar is going to be useful. Hopefully, inshallah.
Yes.
And one more thing, I pray for you. I keep doing it. And one more thing I want to tell you, ma'am, I wanted to have one more webinar, huge kind of a webinar, and make a big, like a flyer, and saying this, that you are going to take this class and call all people, like thousands of people can come and join. Because I'm telling you, making money and becoming this and that, this is not at all going to help us. This is what really needed, millennium you're talking about. This is very, very important. This can be achieved only by, by you people, like only, giving kind of something, and make sure that they're following it up, they're doing it up. So I really, what you have done, job is great. This is, you not make us happy. That is when you're talking about, you know, like a something like, you know, say like a God's theory, something you have done some kind of a divine spirituality, like a divine prescription you have given to all parents, and they should follow it. And you make a creator, I mean, that the creator happy. The creator is God, in spite of whatever God it is, but the creator is seeing this. You made all creator happy. Automatically, when you make his creation happy, the creator happy. The creator happy means it's accountable to God, and may God give you everything, grant you all kind of this world and after this world, whatever. May God give you the best thing, best age and best health, wealth and health. And I want to give you more and more and more knowledge and wisdom to all people. Inshallah, hopefully you're doing for that. You know, I pray you all. I pray your team and get you all kind of enough energy and strength and all. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir, for adding this valuable points to this webinar. And thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Bala sir, any other questions?
Madam, lot of appreciations pouring in the chat box.
Yes.
So if we read, it will take another 15 to 20 minutes. Thank you, madam.
Yes.
Thanks for the wonderful session.
Thank you, Jeny madam.
Thank you. Thank you
Next,
so much.
we move on to next announcement. Next is Learn with Care. Actually, if you want to see this program again, you can go and watch in our YouTube channel. All our care programs are uploaded in our YouTube channel, Care HRD for Success. You can make use of it. Your missed programs can also be watched. Formally, பிடிச்சிருந்தா like பண்ணுங்க, share பண்ணுங்க, subscribe பண்ணுங்க, எங்களை encourage பண்ணுங்க.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much.
And next is our next program announcement, and that is also a very interesting program, Science Magic Show. அறிவியல் அற்புதங்களை விளக்குதல். வழங்குபவர் முனைவர் சேதுராமன் அவர்கள், மாநில செயலாளர், தமிழ்நாடு அறிவியல் இயக்கம். 9ஆம் தேதி புதன்கிழமை 6:45 மணிக்கு குழந்தைகளுடன் கலந்து கொண்டு பயன்பெறுமாறு கேட்டுக்கொள்கிறோம். And next is vote of thanks. Actually, Basir sir, Zonal Director of Kerala, he cannot attend the function today, so let me myself deliver the vote of thanks. First of all, to Jeny madam for such a inspiring, wonderful speech, and educate us and ask the parents you should learn, ready to learn, do the homeworks, attend training sessions, or attending training sessions are very important, and search for outside resources. And these are all new for us, but I think participants will implement this in their parenting journey, and very soon we can see the results. Thank you, Jeny madam. That was a wonderful session. And next to our technical head Balasubramaniam sir for his rocking inaugural address as usual. I thought he will inaugurate the function with in Malayalam, but he didn't do that. Thank you, Bala sir. And next to our technical team members, Natarajan sir and Balasubramaniam sir, without whom we cannot enjoy this interplets session. Thank you, sirs. Then to our media partner, Success Media Shankar sir. Thank you, sir. And next to our care designer Nandanan, showcasing his exceptional talent in our invitation. Thank you, Nandanan. Next to our captain of the ship, Krishnamurthy sir, and vice captain Balachandra sir. Their tireless work has brought us to the 80 speakers from different areas, give us different knowledge from different areas. Thank you, sirs. Last but not the least, our participants whose participation make us keep going. Thank you, participants. Okay, today we all had a lot of takeaways. Please implement what is learned today. We are signing off for today. See you all on our 81st program on Wednesday. Till then, it's bye from Care. Take care.